What is self sabotage? The literal definition is to deliberately destroy, damage, or obstruct oneself. The individual may engage consciously or unconsciously in actions or thoughts that then get in the way of them achieving their results. Could be work, could be relationships, or personal accomplishments. Let's take a few examples of how self sabotage may manifest. In relationships, someone may keep attracting abusive or narcissistic partners because they have this core belief of being unworthy. Now, for such an individual, even when there's this opportunity of meeting a good person, they might not be comfortable with that person because they might start labeling that person as clingy, obsessive, or stifling because they're not used to being treated nicely. Someone may have an abandonment fear, and so they feel their partner may leave them. And so, what happens is they start becoming too attached to their partners. They become suspicious of their partner's motives, and this behavior eventually drives the partner away. And so, it reinforces this belief within them that others leave them. We see this in self defeating behaviors where someone may just keep pushing out commitments until it's the last minute and then they invariably fail. Someone may plan their finances well for the entire month and follow through with it. At, at the end of the month, they might want to celebrate and they end up spending more than what they saved. We see this with diets as well. A lot of people have strict diets and they follow through for weeks or even months, and then they think of rewarding themselves, and just one cheat meal leads to binge eating. People who have low self-esteem may be doing well in their life. They might have good relationship or a good opportunity at career, but since they have this feeling of low self-esteem, they may destroy these opportunities because deep down they feel they are not worthy. And so when these opportunities fail, they validate that feeling of they are not good enough. Why do we self sabotage? Most of our behaviors and beliefs are formed in early childhood through adolescence. Most of these patterns are not helpful because even the best parents and caregivers are not fully aware or conscious. And then there is school, teachers, other kids, other adults around us. So we go through all these experiences and we develop behaviors and beliefs that best serve us, even if they are not helpful to us. For example, a kid who kept hoping that their parent will finally show attention to them, but that need was never met and it always ended in disappointment. That kid may then toughen up and then stops expecting anything from others. And so when this kid grows up and becomes an adult, they they have a relationship which is going good, they may just sabotage this relationship because they feel that at some point it will lead to disappointment and they don't want to be around to face that failure. Another example, if there was chaos and drama in the family, then that individual may grow up and create that drama in their personal relationship because they need the same stimulation. Another example, a kid who felt being invisible was being safe. Such a person may then grow up and want to stay out of spotlight because being the center of attention means there is danger. A kid who got attention when they were in pain then may grow up and start playing the victim card whenever they want attention. If the kid felt that they were not lovable and they grow up and they are in a relationship with a good partner, they may eventually destroy that relationship because deep down they feel they are not lovable. So, who's gonna stick around and love them forever? If feelings of unworthiness and failure are familiar and such an individual grows up and they are doing well in life, they may still destroy these opportunities because success and happiness seems like a foreign territory for them and they do not have the script to navigate that. They only understand pain and misery. So they keep attracting these situations which are less than optimal. Identify what is causing you to self sabotage. This will require becoming mindful of your patterns, observe your current reality, look at your thoughts, beliefs, and your fears. And I have a video on pattern recognition, which I will link below. So, do this exercise with mindfulness. Use journaling. Don't do it in your head, and dedicate some time. You might need to do it over a period of days, and look at the events from your past which are of significance and dig deep. Ask yourself questions about why you did what you did. If there was some action or some behavior that you did which was self sabotaging, then ask yourself, why were you doing that? What were you feeling? Why did you react in such a manner? And keep at it until you find the root cause. And it may take several attempts to do this, but keep going. And how do you know that you uncovered the root cause? You will know because it will ring true for you. Everyone is different. Everyone will have a different thought that rings true for them. So look at these patterns, and some of these beliefs are unconscious. That's why we need to um, be nuanced about it. We need to dig deep and find what it is that is at work here, which is causing all these behaviors in our life. Once we know what it is we are working with, then we can come up with solution to address it instead of fighting in the dark. How to change or overcome self-sabotaging behavior? Now, this is an ongoing process, but once you start taking steps, you will also see the results manifesting. Awareness is the first step. Becoming aware of our patterns and then staying conscious and catching ourselves whenever we are inclined to repeat the same patterns is key. Also, notice now you have more resourcefulness. You are no longer that 10-year-old child who had to hide in order to feel safe. Once we uncover these patterns, sometimes we realize that we are still using the same methods that our 10-year-old version was using for self preservation. So now we can soothe and comfort that inner child, and we can now use methods that help us in our growth. So now use strategies and solutions that work for your adult self. Take positively oriented actions. Also, in the starting, it may feel overwhelming. Being aware, noticing patterns, taking a different decision than what you would have done in the past, and also a new action may feel uncomfortable because you are not familiar with it. But stay the course. And also, your mind may say that this is not worth it, you will never change. But this is where the rubber meets the road. You have to be committed to doing this exercise. There's a reason this is called inner work, because we need to work on our inner space. So stay the course, keep practicing, keep doing this, and then you will be able to break through to the other side. With consistent practice and persistence, we can then build new neural pathways in our brains. And so, over time, these habits and behaviors, they become our default setting, and slowly it gets easier to operate from them. Keep track of your progress and continue with this process of mindfully assessing your inner space. Use whatever works for you. Use meditation, EFT, journaling, shadow work, inner child work, or something else, whatever works for you. But remember, awareness and self compassion is always going to be the key. Also, whenever you find yourself self sabotaging, don't beat yourself up. Be grateful that now you're conscious enough to understand this behavior. In the past, it was all happening at an unconscious level, and you didn't even know why it was happening, why your relationships kept failing, or why you could not achieve success in your projects. So, be grateful that now you have uncovered this pattern where you can catch yourself, and so give yourself credit for that. Also, this is a long learned process that was put in place for self preservation, so it kept you safe. On surface, it looks self-sabotaging. It is out to get you, to destroy you, but it had a positive intent of ensuring your survival. The core belief at that time was I can thrive later, but first I need to survive. And so we kept using it to stay congruent to those beliefs that our innocent child version thought to be true. But now that pattern has served its purpose. So we can gratefully say goodbye and take the control back. Now we can operate as adults who can handle situations. When we know better, we do better. And so, with awareness and conscious actions, we can change the narrative and manifest better outcomes for us. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.